7 victories. It's quite remarkable for many, many reasons. But 7 victories this season means they are top of the tree. Now, actually, I think we are going to get straight underway here at Woodside Road. So, Frank Nublet taking his place up front alongside Rhys Murphy, who's already into double figures this season. When he dons green and white, he knows where the back of the net is. That is for sure Rhys Murphy. As the referee just checking everything is ready to go. So Yeovil will be kicking from left to right as we look at it in this first half. Yeovil travelling to Worthing. Bit of a break for them, really, from that Hewish Park surface, where they've had so many games this season being drawn at home in the FA Cup. So they've got to continue that good form away from home. Referee just looking at his watch as we do tick over until 3 p.m. and Worthing get us underway as Egwa plays it out wide. Ball does go out of play as it was chested down by Ollie Pearce. So throw in on the far side to Yeovil Town, which Alex Whittle, that left back position, will take. And already the Yeovil Town fans in fine voice. I'm just glad for them that it stopped pouring down with rain. I
think it's a bit of karma for Yeovil fans if it does rain, to be honest. They've took the mick out of fans for years without the cover at Hewish Park, so if it does rain it might be a little bit of karma, but no, it's the weather app is saying we've got 3 hours of dry weather, so that is perfect.
Just the 3 hours, that'll do us. Here on the left hand side is Jean-Luc, who's going up against Michael Smith. Forced back in though to their defensive line are Worthing. Long ball forward. 1-0. He's trying to get it ahead of Robinson, but that's a nice ball forward. Challenge comes in from Worthington. Player goes down in the box. Referee says no penalty straight away. Possession stays with Worthing though, those red shirts getting into that Yeovil half.
Mark Cooper was highly complimentary of Worthing and how they like to knock the ball around, and they've started that very well here. Yeah,
you can certainly see it. Here's Jean-Luc, he's going to shoot! Not high enough to beat Joe Day, the towering Joe Day. So first claim is for the Yeovil Town keeper. And this is the first time you've seen... Oh no, you saw him against Didcot, didn't you, Joe Day? He's made such a difference to this defensive line for Yeovil.
Yes, Didcot was the first time I saw him at Hewish Park, and then Weston as well, I think I saw him, and he's really made a difference. And just to have that sort of senior presence behind the back four and that voice of it's a little bit more command and it's got a little bit more experience in the Football League and in the National League, it's really been useful for what is a young and maybe not inexperienced, but a youthful back four with that, well, prior to the arrival of Michael Smith anyway.
Yes, quite. He does bring the average age up just a tad, 35-year-old, but heaps of experience. As Yeovil had their first attack, but it was put out for a throw-in, so the possession has gone back to Worthing. 3 minutes gone here, it's 0-0. Ball one back in the middle of the park by Murphy. To the far left is Dawes, who gives it away though. Turn from Aguar. Goes back to their goalkeeper, Rocco Rees. Again, you can just see that they like passing the ball around.
Mark Cooper was saying in the week that it was the first time Yeovil really had to surrender a lot of possession and find a different way to win against Southend. And today they might need a bit of the same, because Worthing are liking knocking the ball around so far. Yeah, long ball forward, trying to find Nicky Wheeler, but it was slightly overhit. So throwing goes Yeovil Town's way. Alex Whittle goes over to take that one on the far side. 4 minutes gone here. Still Worthing 0, Yeovil 0. We'll keep an eye on all the other games that are kicking off in the National League South, because it is so tight in this division, and even at this early stage, things can change very quickly. As Dawes flicks it on, trying to find Murphy. He runs just ahead, but it's well intercepted by Worthing. And again, they come forward at pace. Here's Jean-Luc on that left-hand side. Nice loop ball forward towards the edge of the box. Cashman finding Sarando. Got Worthington for company though, so forced out to Colburn on the right-hand side. On the byline is Wheeler once more, cuts inside, cross comes in, easily held by Joe Day, but Jake Robinson letting Joe Day know he's there as well. But again,
Those dangerous crosses, Yeovil looking to deal with them well, and they had a lot of practice with that against Southend.
He certainly did, but to say, what is really strong about Yeovil's back four is a lot of physicality, especially with Morgan Williams and Jake Wonnell, and they'll be confident from those crosses, and they are really letting them come in at this stage because they're confident to win those physical battles, to get the ball outside the box and set themselves on a breakaway.
So Worthing get a throw in on the far side, just in front of that travelling Yeovil Town contingent. 5 minutes played here. Still 0-0. And as I say, Adam Hinshelwood in charge here at Worthing, signing a long-term deal this week. Been in charge since 2017. Here's Jordan Young, midway through that Worthing half, but didn't have anywhere to go, so he's back to Smith. Smith to Day, he's being chased down. He takes a touch, does Joe Day. Actually passes it out to Wonnell, who dinks it forward, trying to find Murphy. Murphy does enough physically to get it a little dink off Colburn for the throw in, which they take quickly. Here's Murphy once more. He's got 3 red shirts in front of him. He's penalised for the foul. So free kick goes Worthing's way. Rhys Murphy making his feelings known, as he always does.
Completely unlike Rhys Murphy, that one.
Back to their goalkeeper, Rocco Rees. Summer signing their goalkeeper for Worthing. Ex-Brentford and Brighton. Didn't make any appearances for either of them, but now playing in the National League South as Joe Day chests it down, and toward the edge of his own box is Williams, and Wonnell is under a bit of pressure, so Day's going to have to loop that one out. He does so, headed by Dawes, and then Murphy gets a hold of it, goes back to Wonnell. Flag goes up though.
It's not quite stuck for Yeovil so far when they've tried to get forward, but they've had answers to everything Worthing have thrown at them as well, so it's been probably a tame start from both sides.
Jordan Young's chasing down the goalkeeper. On the edge of his own box though is Ron Luke, who does just about enough defensively. I imagine they won't mind soaking up this pressure in the early stages. It's probably what they would expect with how good Worthing's home form is.
Well, Mark Cooper was saying they've taken a lot of risks, don't they? So they're always going to start fast, a side like that that's really willing to throw bodies forward.
They almost were able to hit Yeovil on the counter there, but the ball has fallen nicely to Day. Robinson chasing him down. A flicked on header from Jordan Young is out for a throw in on this near side. There's a big staircase in front of us, which is obstructing a bit of our view, but we're making it work. Here's Joseph Rye. Colburn. Again, long ball forward towards Robinson. Just about in the box for Joe Day. Again, so much more confident, isn't he? Comes and claims. And you can tell the impact that's having on the defence in front of him as well.
Yes, everything seems a little less shaky. Decisions aren't being rushed. It doesn't ever feel like there's that sort of rush of blood to the head and think, right, I just need to get this out. It seems a little bit more composed, and that can only help Yeovil.
Nice ball from Smith to pick out his fellow fullback, Whittle. Good turn from Hours. Nice intricate play from Yeovil, but they need to make some inroads. Dawes stands up firm as he goes past the halfway line, taking on his man. Good ball from Dawes to pick out Murphy. He's done really well here. Rhys Murphy, he's going to shoot, and it's scrambled in, and Worthington gets the opener. 8 minutes in, the number 8 fires home for Yeovil. Great ball from Will Dawes. Murphy couldn't get there, but Worthington was waiting to poke home his first goal of the season. And on 8 minutes, it's Worthing 0, Yeovil 1.
That's what happens when the ball sticks. That is fantastic from Will Dawes. As soon as the ball came to him, he shifted his body a little and sent the entire Worthing midfield. And Rhys Murphy saw that as the golden opportunity to dart forward. Will Dawes found him with a fantastic pass. And you think, Rhys Murphy, that's a banker. Of course he's going to score this. But Matt Worthington does what Matt Worthington does. Bags of energy, get in there to pounce on the ball. 1-0 to Yeovil.
He doesn't score many, and he probably won't score an easier one, Matt Worthington, but he won't mind. He gets his first goal for Yeovil Town this season, edging ever closer to 200 appearances in green and white. But the goal made by Will Dawes, that's 3 assists in 3 games. Is this a break?
From his brilliant action, really, a little shimmy to to release basically Reece Murphy was fantastic, and when you see that on the highlights, I'm sure you'll all be very impressed.
Absolutely. Well, Yeovil leading by a 1-0. Just conceded a free kick though. Frank Nublet penalised this time. Kane Wills on the ball for Worthing. Again, just knocking it about. It's a good ball out wide to the right-hand side. Found by Wheeler. Wheeler's cutting inside, cross comes in again, easily claimed by Joe Day. In his bright yellow goalkeeper kit today, Joe Day.
We were expecting the fast start from Worthing, and that was really Yeovil's first flurry forward, to be honest. And this could knock Worthing for a little bit for 6 now, because I can't imagine they've faced too many chances or too many occasions like this where they've been really put under it in the early stages.
I mean, it kind of comes back to what we were talking about when we were on the way up here, is that Yeovil are clinical, aren't they? Really, really clinical. They don't dominate games. They don't, put 3 or 4 past every opposition. But when they get their chances, they're putting them into the back of the net. And
the goals are shared across the pitch as well. Yeah. There's not... Obviously, Reece Murphy has bagged a lot of goals, but Frank Nublet's chipped in, Jordan Young's chipped in, now Matt Worthington's chipped in. We've seen goals from Owers as well. They're really shared amongst the group.
So Yeovil Town leading by a 1-0 here. Matt Worthington's 8th minute opener. Free kick though goes Yeovil Town's way. Doesn't look like there's any ball boys, so Joe Day's having to jog over and get the ball himself. He'll take it to the left-hand side of his penalty area. Taunton Town 0, Hampton and Richmond 1. Mason Bloomfield scoring after 2 minutes for Hampton. Here, it's Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Joe Day with the free kick. Flicked on header from Nublet, and now Reece Murphy trying to get on the end of that. He goes down. It was a half-hearted appeal, I think, well defended by Worthing. Robinson trying to chase down for the counter, but good positioning from Morgan Williams, and Day launches it away. Is that going to go out of play, though? It is, just by the halfway line, and Mark Cooper not amused with that one.
But that was good defended at either end of the pitch there. Firstly by Worthing to snuff out any chance Reece Murphy might have, and then Morgan Williams at the other end as well to marshal the ball back.
Tonbridge Angels 1, Bartley 0 in the National League South.
Certainly going Yeovil's way right now.
Yep, and 12 minutes gone. Yeovil Town leading by a 0, and as it stands, top of the division. We are going to keep an eye on all the other scores, because it has been such a topsy-turvy start to the National League South season, with some really good sides finding some form, particularly our West Country sides.
National League South West, isn't it?
Feels like that way. Well, it doesn't actually today with the miles we've travelled. Rocco Reece launches it forward. It's a poor one. Goes to the hands of Joe Day. And just sensing the energy is just drained a little bit from Worthing. I think that goal has impacted them. It's the old cliche, isn't it? Goals change games, but they certainly had the better of the play, and it was first real chance, and they score.
Yeah, if you compare this to the last time Yeovil were on an artificial pitch against Havant and Waterlooville, the game was really Yeovil, the team that was shocked so early on and didn't start very well. But Yeovil here, when they've had the opportunity to get forward, they've looked like they could cut in behind here. And say Mark Cooper, well, coming back to it, Worthing are a side that takes risks, and they certainly aren't afraid to throw bodies forward. But in the same sense, it means Yeovil can really cut them open when they like.
Joe Day under a bit of pressure here from Cashman. Cashman's chasing him down, but he's calm. Full little chest. Did ball to the right from Murphy to Nublet. Murphy on the ball once more. Burton Albion 0, Bristol Rovers 1. Anthony Evans on the score sheet for Rovers. Dinked ball forward, flag finally goes up. We're all waiting for it. Matt Worthington knew as he went inside the box. Eventually the flag did go up.
He certainly would have been fortunate if that went in his favour.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dartford 1, Havant and Waterlooville 0. Havant and Waterlooville, bottom of the division, only one win this season against Yeovil Town as Jordan Young's won it back on the right-hand side. Can he get inside the box and cut inside? He's got 3 red shirts on him, but he still retains possession. Can he keep it in? He can. No, it had just gone out. It's really hard for us to see over there whether that was the correct decision. Not too many complaints from Jordan Young. He's another man in form, isn't he?
Yeah, everyone seems to hit form at the right time for Yeovil Town right now. That entire front four, you can't say are playing badly at the moment.
No, I do like how Matt Cooper really does refer to it as a front four, and is exactly how they are playing at the moment. Jordan Young out on the right, Dawes on the left, and Nublé in behind Rhys Murphy, who I think thought he was going to get his 11th goal of the season, but it's a good save from Rocco Rees, only for Matt Worthington to tap home and celebrate in front of the travelling Yeovil Town fans. Again, they found an opening on that right-hand side. Cross comes in, and is it tipped away by Day? I'm not sure if he even got a touch on it, but Michael Smith trying to pick up the pieces just past the corner flag. Giving it away, though, once more to Aguiar on the edge of the box. Again, they're always finding that opening on the right-hand side. Nicky Wheeler, cross comes in, headed away by Wannell. And now Jordan Young is shoved to the ground. Free kick to Yeovil Town. And that is what you call playing the game. But, you know, he could feel that was going to come as he's trying to burst forward with the pace. Because Nicky Wheeler on that far side is definitely the outlet for Worthing.
Absolutely. You say every time they get that ball, they try and work it into one of those wide positions, and the crosses have been very good. There's just not really been anyone attacking them, to be honest with you. So Worthing sort of from the defence through the midfield have been pretty decent so far when they've had the ball. It's just they haven't really had anything to test Joe Day apart from putting crosses into the box.
Quarter of an hour gone here. Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. We're on BBC Radio Somerset and BBC Sounds with me, Sheridan Robbins, and former Yeovil Town press officer Sam Collard taking you through this one as Yeovil look to cement their place at the top of the National League South. Jake Wannell does really well, trying to be stronger against striker Jake Robinson, but they are forced back out to Joe Day. Got a lot of touches of the ball, isn't he, without being called into too much action. Flicked on header from Nublé, finds Rhys Murphy. Can he get a hold of it? He's got two red shirts in front of it. That's good control from him on the edge of the D. Finds Jordan Young in space, but it's just over here. Couldn't find Young. Again, perhaps just the way the ball falls on this surface, just not quite falling for Rhys Murphy.
That was almost fantastic. The way he worked the ball around, the way he timed his run, it was superb in the early stages there from Rhys Murphy. But as the ball bounced awkwardly for him, the pass wasn't really onto Jordan Young. The ball was spinning in an awkward way, so he couldn't really strike it, and it was just a bit unfortunate, really. It was a bit of bad luck, but it's a sign he's certainly up for it today.
Joe Ryan, Kane Wills, to be fair, were in good positions to put Murphy under pressure. Couldn't quite get himself inside the box. Once he's inside the box, you always back him to get a shot at least on target. Here comes Wills for Worthing. And get out of their own half. They do so. Robinson. Out to Luke. Ricky Aguiar again picks out Wheeler. Wheeler tries to get the cross in, but decent defending from Will Dawes puts that out for the first corner kick of this afternoon's game. It goes Worthing's way. And you can see just a little bit of frustration from the Yeovil Town defence that Dawes did put that out for a corner kick, but better safe than sorry. He's been a bit of danger on that right-hand side.
Yeah, Dawes was sort of isolated on his own there with someone who's been very tricky winger in these early stages. So just has to get his body in front of that cross because his delivery's been very strong so far.
And he's on corner kick duty. Is Wheeler. They take it short, combining with Luke. Worthington puts it out for a throw-in. And he actually wins it for his side, so danger averted there. Yeah, Nicky Wheeler, 32, signed in the summer, played for Dorking, Woking, so certainly played a higher level. They'll be pleased with the defending there.
They really will be. Say it was never felt like Yeovil were in any threat really. It's been rather commanding so far, and say if you highlight that to 2 months ago against Havant and Waterlooville in a similar sort of fixture on a pitch like this, it's been very different. And that's probably a testament to the impact of Joe Day and Michael Smith.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm over that game yet. Again, a long ball forward, trying to find Murphy. The goalkeeper's come all out of his way. Referee's pulled it back, though.
Yeah, Worthing do like to play a high line, and that does leave room for Yeovil to find room in behind. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Jordan Young, a Rhys Murphy to sneak in behind and grab one here.
Yeah, absolutely. So free kick to Yeovil. Mark Cooper on the far side, and Chris Todd barking instructions to his players, and as ever, it's Jordan Young on set-piece duty. Just inside their own half, though. To the left-hand side of the centre circle.
Furthest man back, Jordan Young is.
Yeah, he doesn't say that very often.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeovil leading by a goal to 0 here. Jordan Young with the free kick. Launches It's a good run from Jake Wannell, heads it towards Murphy. Wheeler gets there though, does about enough inside the box. Now he's going to try and set Worthing on a counter.
Once again, it was an extremely high line from Worthing. It gave Wannell so much room to come in and charge at that, and I think actually he was probably better off shooting than he was hooking that to the back post, because he was unmarked and pretty much had the width of the goal to aim for.
Yeah, Joe Day just put under a bit of pressure. Possession comes back to Worthing. Slightly overhit that wayward pass though, towards the corner flag. Not that we can see, but it has gone out, as we can see from our assistant referee. So throw-in goes Yeovil Town's way. 20 minutes played here. Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Torquay 0, Welling United 1. Torquay trailing once more. So far, results going for Yeovil Town. If we can talk about that after 12 games. Not sure we can.
I think you're allowed to look at the table now.
Particularly as we're only 20 minutes in.
Yeah. Managers will tell you they don't look at the table. They do.
Yeah, just like they said, this surface wasn't playing on Mark Cooper's mind. I don't believe him whatsoever. Here's Ricky Aguirre picking out Wheeler once more on that right-hand side. That is where they've been the most dangerous, Worthing. Right. To Wills. Just trying to be a bit more patient now, Worthing. They are trailing, but they've settled certainly since the goal. Again, a cross. Easily claimed by Joe Day. They won't mind those crosses coming in, if that is how they're going to deal with him. A little high five from Morgan Williams. Morgan Williams settled in playing in his actual position at centre-back.
Yeah, with a run of games in that centre-back position, he's really made it his own alongside Jake Wannell. They've really struck up a good partnership here.
Yeah, he's played full-back, both full-backs. It's Jordan Young taken to the floor by Kane Wills. Good free kick. Just inside that Worthing half. On the right-hand side. Jordan Young scored against Southend. Scored a couple of great free kicks this season as well. Will do well to score from this one.
Pretty much on the halfway line.
Yep. Falls nicely for Williams. Flicked on header, trying to find Wannell just behind him. 1-1 up against Wheeler.
It's the same again though, at that back post. Both of Yeovil Town's centre-backs, you'd feel the biggest threat in the air, are completely unmarked.
Yeah, Yeovil have been very strong from set pieces, haven't they, this season? And you would think Worthing would know that. Got a throw in, just in front of Mark Cooper, who's barking instructions at his players. 22 minutes gone, Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. One back by Will Dawes. Nice ball, a nice idea to try and find Murphy. Doesn't quite work out.
Wasn't quite the execution of his earlier pass.
No, absolutely not. Here's Cashman. Out wide to Wheeler. Just in front of Dawes. Dawes giving him something to think about, and does he foul him? He doesn't.
I think he tripped up on his own feet, to be honest. I think that was good defending from Will Dawes. He marshalled his man and he to the man to go an extra step and watch the ball trickle out wide. I think that was strong defending from Dawes.
Well, and our referee agrees. Will Dawes making his third successive start for the Glovers. He certainly had an impact. Really poor throw-in from Whittle, but somehow they've retained possession, but it's one back by Sorondo. Wills. And they're trying to do everything through that right-hand side. Rye to Wills once more, been chased down by Young, so forced to go back to the goalkeeper, Rocco Rees. Yeovil leading by a goal to 0, 24 minutes played. Yeovil currently sitting top of the National League South. That's a good ball. Chested down on the edge of the area by Ollie Pearce. Ollie Pearce thinks about going by himself. Blocked by Wannell. Trickles out of play. Goes out for a throw-in to Worthing.
It's another one of those moments there for Worthing where they've worked really well wide, but when they get the ball into the centre, there doesn't really seem to be much on. Even if it sticks to the striker, he's having a look around and he's, we've got room for a shot because the centre-backs are on him, and there isn't really a pass on either.
Here's Wills, combining with Cashman. Colburn turns. Just past the centre circle is Sorondo. Cashman. Juan Luke with the cross. Again, comfortable for Joe Day. You won't mind that whatsoever. Another goal in the National League South. Dover have taken the lead at home to Hemel Hempstead. Here Yeovil lead Worthing by 1-0. Day launches it forward, a lot of power. Headed away by Worthing. Can they keep it in? I don't think they can. No, it trickles out of play, but we'll have an attacking throw-in just in front of the dugout. An animated Mark Cooper.
You'd be really pleased with the start so far. Always room for improvement.
Absolutely. Standards. Michael Smith on the halfway line and miscontrols it, goes out of play, and they concede the throw-in. A comedy of errors there. And
I think that was an awkward pass from Dawes, really. He's hooked it across and it's got an awkward bounce, and I know we talk a lot about these artificial pitches, but when it's an awkward one to judge, it's sort of Michael Smith was sort of playing catch-up the entire time, trying to bring that ball under control.
Wheeler's set free on that right-hand side. Dawes just in front of him. Dawes has done brilliantly. Cleared by Wannell. Really good defending from Will Dawes.
Certainly made up for the error.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a Yeovil ball just in front of the dugout. Defensive work. They're disciplined.
Yeah, discipline I think is the perfect word there. Everything is so tidy. You don't ever think, even when that ball's trickling wide there, you're not thinking, oh my God, they're going to hit us on the break really quickly. There's the cover, and there's a real sort of impetus about how Yeovil want to defend, and they really stamp their authority.
I thought that was a corner kick to Yeovil, but it's been given as a goal kick. It's a goal kick to Worthing. 27 minutes gone here. Yeovil leading by 1-0. Wannell finds Whittle, penned in a little bit, so Wannell launches it away, but goes out of play into the crowd. Just a bit sloppy, the last few passages of play from both sides.
Yes, it was, and say Wannell there was visibly frustrated with his pass, and rightfully so. And they say they set high standards for themselves as Yeovil players. They want to win this league, and little mistakes like that will frustrate them.
Josh Hours penalised, concedes the free kick, which they want to take very quickly indeed, and they do so through Colburn. Again, they're just trying to set Wheeler on their way, but Dawes is keeping him quiet. On the halfway line is Rye. Colburn turns. Back to Rye as we're just being persistent, pushing them out. Approaching the half-hour mark here. Dawes puts it out of play. He's had a lot of work to do, isn't he, on that right-hand side, Yeovil's left-hand side. He's certainly not in for an easy afternoon. Absolutely
not, but he's certainly been up for the challenge so far. It's been a pretty even battle with Dawes certainly on every single touch anyone on the Worthing right has had so far.
Throw in on the far side to Worthing. Inside that Yeovil half. Bristol City 0, Coventry 0. Here Yeovil lead by 1-0. Well intercepted though by Michael Smith. Michael Smith launching it towards Newblay. Can he get there? He can. Cross comes in. There's no one there though, and it goes out of play. Anyway, right idea. I'm not sure he had the time and space to pick his spot, and it goes out for a goal kick.
Bit of hit and hope that one, but there wasn't really anything else on, and Rhys Murphy hadn't quite caught up with the play, so it was making the best of probably not an ideal situation.
Weymouth 1, Eastbourne Borough 0 in the National League South. Yeovil face Weymouth at home on Tuesday.
Something had to go wrong in the other results, didn't it?
Tom Bearwish on target for the Terrors. Yeah, reunited of former enemies in the same division once more, Weymouth and Yeovil. They've been certainly interesting games. when they were both in the National League, so I'm sure we'll be treated to a battle on Tuesday. I want to go into that with some confidence. They're leading by a goal to nil. Whittle launches it forward, flicked on header. Was a bit under hit by Worthing, but they just about get away with it as Jordan Young was sensing he could latch onto that in a central position. We've played half an hour here. Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Matt Worthington on the score sheet for the Glovers, his first goal of this new season. Comfortably Yeovil's longest serving player. And soon he will hit the 200 appearance mark, which in this day and age you don't see very often.
Especially at this level as well. So players will chop and change between clubs, so it's a testament to Matt Worthington with his loyalty for Yeovil Town.
Yeah, absolutely, as the flag goes up against Ollie Pearce. Burton Albion have equalised against Bristol Rovers. It's 1-1 there. So Joe Day will take the free kick. 15 minutes to go of this first half. Not too much goal-mouth action for either side since the goal.
The only real bit of goal-mouth action we've seen has led to a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. First real chance for either, or clear-cut chance anyway for either side. A lot of good crosses have come in from Worthing, but Yeovil have dealt with every one of them. It's Will Dawes. Can't win it back though. On the edge of their own box under pressure. There, touch from Worthington, tries to find Newblay, can't keep a hold of it, but Worthington picks it up. On that right-hand side, plays it through once more to Worthington. It's well intercepted though, and Jordan Young can't keep a hold of it. Good play from Joanne Luke. On the edge of their own box though, they're still playing. Can it be won back in midfield by Hours? It can't. Pearce gets there first.
It's really well worked from Worthing. They're in a bit of a sticky situation with Yeovil pressing really high, and they've worked so well around the Yeovil forward.
Here comes Nick Wheeler. Their bright spark, that is for sure. Going to find Robinson on the edge of the box, but Wannell is in a good position. He's done really well to play that out to Whittle, under real pressure from the red shirts as Dawes is muscled off the ball. He wants a free kick. He's not going to get one. I don't think he should either, as Danny Cashman gives it away cheaply to Worthington. And now Michael Smith in his own box turns under pressure from Robinson.
That's where I think Worthing could probably be frustrated at themselves. There have been a number of opportunities now where Yeovil have maybe given the ball away a little bit sloppily, and they've not taken advantage at all.
Yeovil playing a little bit deeper now though, but you do have a throw in just in front of the Yeovil dugout. So they get away with that one. 32 minutes gone. Bath City have equalised against Tonbridge Angels. Cody Cook on the score sheet for Jerry Gill's side. They will now play each other, Yeovil and Bath, in December, having had their match rearranged as both were in the FA. Was facing Gateshead at home, National League in the FA Cup, a third successive FA Cup at Hewish Park. Goal kick to Worthing, much to the frustration of the Yeovil Town faithful. Sun is now beaming down here. It was absolutely pouring as we were walking into the ground, but the sky is now a delightful blue, and Yeovil are leading by a goal to nil. That Worthington opener on 8 minutes is the difference between the two sides. Michael Smith intercepts the cross, and Joe Day uses his feet and then claims with his hands and rolls it out to Smith. Some nice football from Yeovil Town.
That's the difference, those little situations there when there's been a long ball hooked forward. There was never any doubt that that was going to be dealt with by Yeovil Town, whereas in the early stage of the season might not have been the case.
Aguiar beats Josh Hours for pace though. Here comes Cashman. Turns on the edge of the centre circle. Goes out wide to Wills, who's made the run and picked up by Joanne Luke. Cashman feeds it through to Ollie Pearce. Morgan Williams makes sure that goes out for a corner kick though. And just a little bit of pressure mounting from the home side.
Still yet to really test Joe Day. They're working the ball around well and working openings, but nothing that's really forced Joe Day into a save.
Nicky Wheeler will take the corner kick on this near side, left-hand side. Everyone back defending for Yeovil. Even Jordan Young, who's come into the box. A late run. They've taken it short. Found Aguiar in space, who shoots. Goes high and over. You can see what they were trying to do, catch Yeovil unawares, but there was no accuracy on the final shot.
Absolutely not. He struck certainly through and under that one, and it's flown over the bar. Nothing really for Joe Day to worry about at all. He could just stick his hand up and comfortably be assured that that was going to sail over the bar.
10 minutes to go of this first half. It's Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Chippenham have taken the lead at home to St Albans in the National League South. So Joe Day with the goal kick. Frank Nublet penalised. I think he's going to go in the book, is he? He's been called over, is Frank Nublet. Seemed a bit innocuous.
I think it's actually the size of Nublet that's counted against him there. The players had to climb on top of him to sort of be level in height.
He didn't really move, Frank Nublet.
No.
He's not going to get a booking, he's just going to get a talking to, but that seemed very harsh.
Yeah. Obviously seen something we haven't, as the referee.
Absolutely. Here's Joseph Rye for Worthing. Certainly a very good passing side, as Mark Cooper alluded to. You can see why they're doing well in this division. They are trailing here, though. Matt Worthington tapping is the difference. Has got themselves in a bit of a mess defensively. Reese puts that out of play. Does it? No, he actually keeps it in. Does Colburn. It's out for a throw-in. Lack of communication there between the centre half and the goalkeeper, and they're just making each other aware that that wasn't what they expect from each other.
And the Yeovil fans certainly enjoyed that behind the goal as well.
They enjoyed that little exchange between the two players. But it is a throw into Worthing, which Colburn will take on the far side, just in front of that travelling Yeovil Town contingent. Bath City have now taken the lead at Tonbridge Angels. Scott Wilson scoring for fun at this level, as he was last season on the score sheet for Bath City. Bath City, of course, lost here last weekend in the FA Cup. But they are having a fantastic start to the season. Rocco Reese plays it out to Wills.
You can see why so many teams have struggled here, because when things get going and things click for Worthing, you can tell that they are a very natural pass inside, and when things just click into gear, you can see there's a good bit of quality here.
Colburn wins his side a throw-in. He's 24 years old, more than 200 appearances for Worthing. Pretty impressive. Headed away by Wannell. Dawes turns and Whittle tries to set Murphy on its way, but it's intercepted by a red shirt. Can they win it back? Throw in front of the home dugout this time, which Wheeler will take. And trying to launch it forward to Robinson. Robinson gets a hold of it, but Whittle makes sure it goes out of play. Given as a throw into Yeovil Town.
Not too sure about that one.
An outrageous decision. It's definitely a Worthing throw-in.
Yeah. You can see frustration starting to kick in a little bit now in the corner there between the two central defenders, and after that decision there, admittedly a poor decision, but I think Worthing might need half-time a little bit just to take a breather and go again.
Torquay have equalised at home to Welling. Aaron Jarvis on target. Goals flying in the National League South, just the one here. Matt Worthington's 8th minute opener. As Murphy chases down the defender and he's beaten him to it. He turns and that's superb, and he can't get down. The referee says no penalty, and Rhys Murphy is incensed.
That absolutely should be a penalty for Yeovil Town. He's had two hands on Rhys Murphy. He's dragged him back. I'm not sure how the referee's not seeing that. You can see his shirt being pulled. You can see every part of Rhys Murphy was pulled there. How he's not given a penalty, that is astonishing. That is a howling decision after a shocking decision for the throw and an even worse one there.
Goodness me, I mean, Rocco Reese got himself in all sorts of bother there. And Colburn as well. Just an absolute mess as Great footwork of Rhys Murphy to put them under that sort of pressure. But
Rhys Murphy was unable to move. He had two hands wrapped round him. There was nothing Murphy could do in that situation, yet he gives a foul for something as tame as that.
Colburn penalised, and ironic cheers from the away end, as that is a well-won free kick by Frank Nublet, shall we say.
Yes.
5 minutes to go here in this first half. It's Worthing 0, Yeovil 1, so free kick just inside that Worthing half, which Jordan Young will jog over to take. Everyone back defending for Yeovil. Robinson just puts the ball back to where he thinks it should be, and it is actually in line with our assistant referee, so it's inside their own half. Young towards the edge of the box. Nice flicked on header from Williams, and Wannell can't get a hold of it. Right idea.
Williams was probably better off leaving that one there. Wannell was in acres of space once again at that back post. I'm not sure why they're not picking him up, because we saw last week Jake Wannell has excellent ability in front of goal with that opening goal against Southend.
4 goals for Jake Wannell this season, considering not one centre-half scored last season. He's got 4, and he said in his post-match that he has a target of 5, so he'll get there. So now
he's got a good chance today with how things are going.
Absolutely, and Mark Cooper said, well, I'm challenging you to 10.
Yeah, only halfway through the season.
Quite right. 5 minutes to go in this first half. It's still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. We're on BBC Radio Somerset with me, Sheridan Robbins, and former Yeovil Town press officer Sam Collard, as Yeovil look to cement their place at the top of the National League South, facing Worthing, who've had a good start themselves. Lost in the playoff semi-finals last season. It's Danny Cashman on this left-hand side. Cuts inside, he's got Smith and Worthington for company. It's a nice play though, as Joanne Luke kind of loops a ball towards Jake Robinson, who'd made a good run, but the way the ball just went just ahead of him, wide of Joe Day's goal, and out for a goal kick.
Caught in two minds there a little bit, wasn't he? He wasn't sure whether he was going to shoot or whether he was going to cross, and he sort of did a mix of both, in all honesty. It was a clipped shot, is how I describe that.
That's good description. Torquay have taken the lead. They've turned it around as well. Brett McGavin on target. It's Torquay 2, Welling United 1 in the National League South.
Not quite going our way anymore.
But the only one that really matters, the scoreline, is it's Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Not really had too many opportunities. Of course, Rhys Murphy will feel that he should have had a penalty.
I think most people in the stadium will agree, apart from the referee.
Just 3 minutes of normal time in this first half to play. He's had his chances, Rhys Murphy, once they get the ball released to him, but as expected, Worthing have had a lot of possession. One back by ours. Whittle is staying down as a
bit of a coming together there, more than anything.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, it feels. Whittle just taking a little bit of knock and helped to his feet by Rhys Murphy, but it is a free kick to Worthing. Mark Cooper, very animated on the sidelines. Colburn takes it, just goes out wide to his centre-back partner, Rye. On the halfway line. Sticking to their principles, Worthing. Their nice passing football. It's worked for them so far. Weymouth have a second at home to Eastbourne Borough. But the good news is, Yeovil fans, it's still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Weymouth, of course, the visitors to Hewish Park on Tuesday. We'll have full match commentary of that one. St Albans have equalised against Chippenham. Late goals in the first half flying in. Having to work hard off the ball, aren't they, Yeovil? In this first half. Colburn trying to play it through to Wheeler, but that's a very heavy ball which will trickle out of play, and they'll probably slow things down a little bit as we've just got 2 minutes of the 45 to play, and whatever our referee adds on at the end.
You mentioned Yeovil having to work hard there, and I think you're spot on. I think as well in that second half, Yeovil will be very grateful to have the Tuesday off this week, because they're going to put in a lot of running today. This is a Worthing side that likes to knock the ball about, so it means when you haven't got the ball, you're doing a lot more chasing, and Yeah, Yeovil Town are going to really put in some miles this afternoon.
They certainly are. And that's the thing, we've spoken about the form that Yeovil are in. They are in a red-hot form, but they're certainly having to work hard in every single game. It's not an easy division. On this near side, the ball's won back by Smith, then Young plays it through to Worthington. Good feet from Worthington, it's well defended, but picked up on the edge of the box by Young, and then Worthington goes into the side netting. It takes a little deflection though. Then a kick to Yeovil Town.
That could have gone anywhere. It was a really good strike from Matt Worthington. That was definitely goal bound had it not been for the deflection, but that deflection just took it to the side netting. But I think the Worthing goalkeeper had a worried look in his eyes.
Yeah, he didn't have any sort of plan for his near post, did he? It's a corner kick to Yeovil Town. Flicked on, headed away. Whittle on the edge of the box tries to get a hold of it. It's looped over. I think that's going to go out of play. It stayed in and Dawes shoots, but it had already gone out as I thought it had. And it is a goal kick, and it was a bit frantic, that corner.
Yeah, really putting them under pressure from every set piece so far, whether it's been a deep free kick or a corner. Worthing haven't quite dealt with them very well.
Can't see any added time being displayed, so who knows? But we have played 45 minutes. So we'll just have to see how much added time we play.
Welcome to the Conference South.
You are in the old days, National League South. Whittle taken to the floor. Yellow card is out from our referee. I think the physio is going to come on to treat Ollie Pearce, who's remained down after that collision.
That was a bit of a late one there. It wasn't malice in it. He was going for the ball, but I think Whittle has probably rightfully earned himself a yellow card.
Yeah, come out worse as Pearce. So Whittle, the first player in the book.
And straight over to receive some instructions from Mark Cooper there.
Well, so that is his 4th yellow card of the season as well.
Yeah, and there's not too much cover at left back for Yeovil Town.
No, there is not. And the cut-off for the 5 yellow cards before you receive a suspension is not until the 30th of November. So...
walking on a tightrope.
Walking on a tightrope, yeah, absolutely. We have to keep an eye on yellow cards for Rhys Murphy as well. He's also on 4.
That suspension feels inevitable.
Yes, quite. Perhaps the most surprising is that Worthington's just got 3. Just the 3.
He likes to add his up with red cards though, doesn't he?
He does, that's true. That is absolutely true. And yeah, that's the thing, talking about the Sonny Cox signing. It's obviously a forward player and we're talking about defenders and midfielders, but it is going to be important for Mark Cooper to have that depth to call on, not only suspensions but injuries too.
Yep, exactly that. So Yeovil do have a big squad, especially for the level, but 1 or 2 injuries can stretch a big squad no matter what. But so once he comes back from his illness, he'll be a really valuable team.
Absolutely. Bristol City have taken the lead at home to Coventry. Rob Dickey on target. Burton Albion have turned it around against Rovers. It's Burton Albion to Rovers. So free kick to Worthing. Kane Wills will take it inside the centre circle. In that Yeovil half. Hand in the air from Wills. Takes it short. Cuts inside. Does Coburn. They found some space inside the box. Challenge from Hours. No penalty. I think he got the ball, so the referee made it clear.
I'd agree, that's a fantastic Hours.
Had to get it
ball,
perfectly.
no man.
Had to get it perfect, and he did. Jean-Luc. Sorondo. Out wide once more. They're finishing this half with a flurry. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be playing as a flicked on header from Wannell. But now a chance from Jean-Luc, and just wide.
Very close. It's been 45 minutes here, and it's the first real shooting opportunity that Worthing have had, and it was Wannell didn't quite get the ball outside the box with his headed clearance, and it fell so kindly to Luke, who cut in on his right-hand side and just dragged it wide. It was a warning sign for Yeovil Town.
That could not have been closer. That's the first kind of shot they've had, isn't it, from close range?
Yeah, it really was. And say he was unmarked inside the box. You you were half expecting the net to be struck, but yeah, thankfully just wide of the post.
Well, that will give them a bit of a boost as the half-time whistle goes. So the tap-in from Matt Worthington is the difference between the two sides. A bit of a flurry at the end there from Worthing, which will give them a boost for the half-time team talk. But from Mark Cooper's point of view, on this surface, against a side that's also near the top of the division, he'll be pretty happy, no?
I think he'll be very happy. He did look a little bit frustrated, and maybe more some of the refereeing decisions and maybe some little individual decisions, but on the whole, I think Yeovil have marshalled Worthing really well, a really attacking side that they've managed so well and not really looked under danger at many moments at all.
Well, Yeovil Town currently sat top of the National League South. They lead Worthing by 1-0. Matt Worthington scoring his first goal of the season after 8 minutes. Worthing very much in this one. We'll have full second half commentary on BBC Radio Somerset. We'll just join the closing stages of the Bristol City game. But half-time here, it's Worthing 0, Yeovil Town 1.
Bristol City finishing the half, the better team.
Good play from Gardner Hickman under pressure to work it down the channel. That's a nice bit of skill from McFadzean. I'm not sure I knew he had that in the locker, but he's done the little Cruyff turn and completely turned two City players and got it back to his keeper under quite a bit of pressure there. So into the final couple of minutes of added time, ball forward is flicked on. Sims is going to try and get there, but Dickey just put on the afterburners a little bit when he needed to and got it back to O'Leary, who finds Sykes down the other far touchline, and Sykes shows a good bit of composure. Oh, that's a nasty one. Hopefully Knight is okay. He was sprinting across the other pitch to try and get there. And I'm hoping he's done nothing worse than jar it, but
is that his knee or ankle?
I think it was his knee, although we'll just have to see what happens, because he sort of sat down. He's now being helped up. Yeah, I'm hoping it was just one of those horrible jarring ones where you get it, but
we could see it from here, couldn't we? And it was one of those just, change of directions, and it looked as if his knee gave way.
Well, he's back out there. Hopefully it is nothing serious, because let's face it, you've got enough bodies in the treatment room at the moment.
Well, quickly ring the academy team. We need some.
Well, most of them are on the bench.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Just looking at the state of that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in there that you would legitimately say.
There's certainly not many senior players on that bench now, is there?
As City 1-0 to the good. Matty James volleys it forward. McFadzean gets it clear, only as far as Knight. That, I think, looked like it ricocheted up off his hand, and the assistant on the far side. The flag goes, and we're into the final 20 seconds or so of added time. So, well, football never ceases to amaze you, does it? It is always unusual, always, it catches you unawares when you least expect it. But Coventry look shell-shocked at the moment, having been so much in control and yet finding themselves a goal down here at Ashton Gate. As City, under some real pressure by their own goal line, do escape that really well. And there is the half-time whistle. And there's a round of applause that Chris Honor, I'm not sure I was expecting to hear at half-time, and I certainly wasn't expecting a 1-0 City scoreline after that opening, realistically, probably 25 minutes, until the injury to Matty James, when the coaching staff obviously decided to change the formation, and since then they've looked a different team.
Well, I was blown away about how bad Bristol City were for that initial period, and it was just a matter of time before they did change the formation, and Bristol City have just grown into the game ever since. And I wouldn't say Bristol City deserved that goal, but I'm shocked they're not 4 or 5 down, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Bristol City have got the whole 45 minutes now to enjoy the rest of this game. But I'm really shocked at how just a few little tweaks in formation can change a team. I mean, the addition of Knight is a sensible one. Hopefully he's not injured and he'll come out second half. But Bristol City just got to thank their lucky stars, really. And
a good bit of quality from Taylor Gardner-Hickman, who put a gloriously floated free kick in, and just into an area that said to Rob Dickey, go on, get your head on that, and he did, and it just crept over the other line in the bottom corner.
Well, as soon as they gave the free kick away, and we were trying to predict what kind of cross they would plant into the box, that was the one I was dreaming of, that little lofted curler into that area, and Dickey met it perfectly with a downward header, which the goalkeeper did really well just to get a hand on, let alone keep out the net. And Bristol City find themselves 1-0 up. Brilliant.
So, not entirely sure how it happened, but the half-time score here at Ashton Gate, it's Bristol City 1, Coventry City 0.
Saturday Sport, BBC Radio Bristol, BBC Radio Somerset. It's approaching 4 o'clock. Let's get the latest on the roads with Josh.
Yeah, thanks very much, Rich. So nothing to report on the M5 this afternoon. Just slow on the M4, really, where that meets the M32 into Bristol, heading eastbound. And on the A303, there's usual delays between Sparkford and Poddymore. In Bristol, on Harcliffe Way northbound, the earlier accident still remains. There is a lot of queuing traffic in the area where the A4174 is partially blocked. Usual delays elsewhere in Brislington, around Brislington Hill and the Bath Road. In Banwell, the A358 remains blocked between there and Sandford in both directions. And in Yeovil, it's slow on the A30 of Sherborne Road. Just in addition to that, the A358 causing problems from the Southfields roundabout near Ilminster to Taunton. Usual delays there heading northbound. Anything else though, and where it's safe and legal, give us a call on 08000 855 949.
Saturday night is the time to showcase your talent on the BBC.
Thank you so much.
From 6, BBC Upload brings you the best in new comedy, poetry and spoken word.
Upload is a great way to reach a new audience with my spoken word poetry.
From 8, BBC Introducing.
I want to thank you for the support, playing my tracks on the radio.
Supporting and championing new music made right here.
Thank you so much. Honestly, that means so much to all of us.
BBC Upload and BBC Introducing.
Just a few clicks and then the next thing you're getting played on air.
Saturday night from 6 or anytime on BBC Sounds. Saturday Sport.
BBC Radio Bristol and BBC Radio Somerset.
Right, we're all back together. Let me give you the latest scores. Bristol City 1, Coventry City 0, Burton Albion 2, Bristol Rovers 1, Worthing 0, Yeovil Town 1. In the rugby, it's Northampton 19, Bristol 18 and Saracens 13, Bath 20 at the StoneX Stadium. National League South, Braintree Western-super-Mare is goalless. It's Taunton 0, Hampton and Richmond 1 and Bath City have come from behind to lead Tunbridge Angels by 2-1. Cody Cook and Scott Wilson with the goals. Let's get some meat on the bones. We'll start with Bristol at Northampton. Commentary available online via the BBC Sport website and app. Bristol trail Mark Hoskins, but a concern that Virimi Vakata has gone off injured in the first half.
Yes, we were watching him before the start of the game, funnily enough, Richard, and he went off just before the rest of the team in the warm-up, and Damien and I momentarily feared that maybe we weren't going to see him at all, but fortunately he did come out, and not only that, he made a good contribution to the game. He was catching the kick-off and the restart kicks, and he was certainly instrumental in setting up Bristol's first try by showing tremendous strength in holding on to the ball, and he was tackled and managed to release Magnus Bradbury for the try. But he received a couple of bits of attention after that, and sadly he has now gone off, and we just hope it's nothing too serious, Richard.
OK, second half commentary coming up with Damien and Mark online via the BBC Sport website and app. Northampton 19, Bristol 18. Better news at the StoneX Stadium. Bath leading 20-13 against Saracens. Tries from Tom de Glanville, Miles Reid and Rory McConaughey. And just listening to some of the commentary, Darren Allinson, Finn Russell's having a stormer.
Yeah, it's definitely a mix. Definitely a mixed start from Finn Russell, because he got charged down his first touch of the ball and Sarri scored a try. But then 3 minutes later, he makes a half break, flips it out the back, and Tom de Glanville's in the corner. So definitely a mixed start to him. But I'm sure Bath are very, very pleased to see him lining up at 10.
And it just seems a bit more of a different Bath. Second season for Johan van Grant. 3 first-half tries. Are we seeing a more attacking Bath this season?
Yeah, especially with someone like Finn Russell coming into the squad, isn't it? We all know his strengths, and he's not going to want to come to Bath and play a traditional, I don't mean in a bad way, but a South African style where you're constantly kicking in your own half, and if you're not getting much territory, you're kicking in the opposition half as well. So he's not going to want to play like that. I think we'll definitely see a much more attacking style of play from Bath, and with Lee Blacker coming in as head backs coach as well. So definitely an interesting season for Bath, and hopefully a very, very positive one.
OK, second half with Darren and Dan on 104.6 FM in Bath, BBC Radio Somerset, 1566 medium wave, and online via the BBC Sport website and app. In the other Premiership game, it's half-time, Leicester 12, Sale 14. To Woodside Road, where Matt Worthington's goal is the difference, Worthing against Yeovil Town. So, is that a deserved half-time lead, Sam Collard?
I think it is, yeah. Yeovil have been neat and tidy once again, and that's sort of been their their USP in the last few weeks. In all honesty, they haven't really pulled up any trees, but they've been tidy. They've knocked the ball around well, and whatever Worthing have thrown at them, they've stood tall.
And Matt Worthington, obviously a very loyal servant at the club, still going strong.
Absolutely still going strong, say. He's not one that pops up the goals too often, but that would have been very difficult to miss. It was great work from Will Dawes and Rhys Murphy, respectively, to create that opportunity for Matt Worthington to just have a nice tap-in on the line.
Second half with Sam and Sheridan available on BBC Radio Somerset, 95.5 FM, BBC Sounds and Freeview Channel 722. Let's go to the Pirelli Stadium next, where it's Burton Albion 2, Bristol Rovers 1. And Alex Rodman, it started so well, but Burton have come from behind and lead at half-time.
They have, and they've been clinical, so you have to say they deserve it, Richard, but Bristol Rovers made a fantastic start. The shape looked good, the fluidity was good, the boys were moving everywhere. Aaron Collins was dropping deep, and we were exploiting this left flank, which is right in front of Ian and I. But it's been a case of attack winning down this flank in front of us. Every time Rovers have attacked down there and exploited the space that was left in behind by Hamer and Barr, we've done really well. And then Burton, conversely, have done the same thing. A couple of sloppy errors and switching off has led to some goals for them, but they've been clinical and they deserve the lead.
Obviously, just the one goal in it. Joey Barton so well. What would he be saying to his players at half-time?
Look, I've been pleased with the shape and the fluidity. I think the shape has worked well. I think we need to keep probing, get Aaron Collins on the ball more. I think Chris Martin's been excellent. Every time the ball's come into him, he's pinned his defender, he's laid it off, and it's allowed Anthony Evans or Ryan Woods to get on the ball and spread it wide. I believe Burton's right back position is the one we need to exploit more. Aaron Collins running in or Harvey Vale overlapping. I think Joey will be encouraging the boys to get forward more. Josh Grant's kind of dictating a little bit from the back with Grant Ward and Ryan Woods in front of him, but I think we just need to be a bit more aggressive and get forward a little bit more and take a few more chances. We've certainly created more chances and had better moves, but Burton have been clinical, 2 from 2.
OK, the second half with Alex and Ian on BBC Radio Bristol, DAB and Freeview Channel 719. Half-time at Ashton Gate. It's Bristol City 1, Coventry 0, but that only tells half the story, Chris Honor. Safe to say that it's been City's least convincing performance of the season?
Yeah, the first 20, 30 odd minutes was a little bit shambolic, to be completely honest. Bristol City were completely out of shape. There was players not knowing their positional responsibilities, some of them having really poor introductions in the game themselves, and it was just wave after wave of Coventry attack, and it just seemed a matter of time before Coventry scored that first goal. But the more chances they missed, and then an injury to Matty James, and Bristol City regrouped. They changed the formation, they made a substitution and brought Hayden Roberts off and Knight on, and Bristol City look a different team. They've now got their familiar pattern of play. They're knocking the ball about well, and they finished the end of the half the stronger out the two teams. It feels like a little bit of a robbery because Bristol City don't necessarily deserve it, but that's the championship for you. There's never a dull moment, and it's been an interesting first 45.
94.9 FM, BBC Radio Somerset DAB. Chris Honor and Ed Hadwin at Ashton Gate. If I could bring you into the conversation as well, Ed. There's just been a statement from the family of Sir Bobby Charlton. It is with great sadness that we share the news that Sir Bobby passed peacefully in the early hours of Saturday morning. He was surrounded by his family. His family would like to pass on their thanks to everyone who's contributed to his care, and for the many people who have loved and supported him. We would request that the family's privacy be respected at this time. So Bobby was 86. Ed and Chris, we've lost one of the all-time greats of English football.
Well, he's just been an ever-present, obviously, hasn't he? Look at what he's done in the game from the World Cup onwards, and he was one of those people that, whether you were an England fan or a Manchester United fan, I think everybody had respect for him. The way he carried himself, the way he was, in the proper sense of the word in a footballing term, a real statesman figure, wasn't he? He was one of those people who it was just, you look at and you felt there's somebody who knows what he's talking about and really epitomised a lot of the things that we all love about this sport, and obviously a very sad day for the whole of football, but particularly for his friends and family.
Yeah, I agree with that, Richard. I was going to use the exact word. He was someone that...
Thank you. Yes, we're back here at Worthing, ready for kick-off of the second half.
between Yeovil Town and Worthing, and echoing those words that you were just hearing on BBC Bristol, awfully sad news that Sir Bobby Charlton has passed away, an absolute legend of the game, and I'm sure that news will filter through to everyone who is a football fan here regarding the second half. Looks like there's no changes for either side as Yeovil look for an 8th win in a row in all competitions. So far so good. Matt Worthington's 8th minute opener is the difference between the two sides. Try and take you through the two teams when we get a break in play, but Will Dawes looking to get us underway for this second half. At Yeovil kicking from right to left as we look at it in this second half, and Dawes gets us underway, ready for the second half. Flicked on header from Newblade, falls nicely to Smith on the halfway line. Back to Newblade, that takes a little nick.
It was a rather interesting kick-off tactic that,
yeah,
from Will Dawes flicking the ball back to Matt Worthington, who just hoofed the ball in the air.
Back to Rico Reese. Towards the edge of their own box. Again, Matt Worthington getting in on the action. Here's Wheeler. Early possession. Trying to pick out Robinson, but Williams is just ahead. Deflection off. Goes out for a goal kick. So I'll take you through the two sides. Joe Day is in goal for Yeovil Town. Michael Smith, Morgan Williams, Jake Wannell and Alex Whittle are at the back for Matt Worthington. Josh Hours in midfield, and Jordan Young, Will Dawes either side of Reese Murphy and Frank Newblade. Frank Newblade playing a little bit in behind Reese Murphy. As for Worthing, Rocco Reese in goal, Joe Galbraith, Joe Wright and Kane Wills are the back three. Nicky Wheeler, Oda Saronde, Ricky Igua and Juan Luke in midfield. Striker Jake Robinson. So it'll be interesting to see when we see both managers looking to their bench. Yeovil, we were talking at half time, just that one goal lead. If it does remain just that one goal lead, I wonder if he's a little bit of a more of attacking play, because they've not had acres of chances in this second half, in this first half.
No, you'd be looking at probably Jordan Stevens to be the one that would make that difference in terms of thrusting a team forward. You know he's blessed with pace and one who loves to press the back line, and I think that might suit the way that Worthing are playing. And if he was fully fit, I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd actually started this game.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit with some niggly injuries, which impacted his season at the end of the last campaign. On and off with a sort of hamstring problem, Jordan Stevens. His minutes have been managed. He came on against Southend. As Dawes chases down that loose ball. Reese clears on the halfway line. Goes out of play. Round of applause from Mark Cooper. We want to see some real energy from his side in this second half. Throw in on the far side to Smith. Played 2 minutes of the second half. It's still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Flicked on header from Newblade, trying to pick out Murphy. Finds a red shirt though. Wheeler. He's playing a little bit further back, it seems, in this second half. Again, Yeovil on the edge of their own box, putting Worthing under pressure. 1-0. Heavy touch. Morgan Williams going to have to pick up the pieces. He's going to go back to Joe Day. He is. Robinson's going to chase that one down, but Day launches it past the halfway line. He's only going to find a red shirt though. Heads it towards the edge of their own box, but again dealt with by Yeovil, but falls nicely back to Wheeler. Right hand side. Return from Pearce. It's forced back though. So the three centre halves get in on the action. Out wide once more. Again, they're going to have to soak up possession from Worthing. Forced back to Rocco Reese. Takes his time. Murphy just waiting inside the box.
He loves to lurk in those areas, doesn't he? Always ready to pounce.
And with a team that likes to pass the ball around as they do. But here they come with a little bit more impetus. Aguiar picking out Rye. Rye driving forward on the far side. Making some progress. Juan Luke, who had that superb chance in added time of the first half.
Shot just wide. Cashman on the right-hand side. Combines with Wheeler. There's 3 green shirts in front of him. Back to Colburn. Dinks it forward. It's poor. Goes out of play. Goal kick to Yeovil Town. Again, it's kind of similar to how we saw the start of the first half. Worthing having a lot of possession, not really penetrating Yeovil, particularly in the 18-yard box.
That final pass hasn't really come off for them today so far, and that's probably as much of a credit to Yeovil as it is a slight against Worthing, because Yeovil have marshalled everything they've done really well, to be honest. You've never really thought Wunnell or Williams have been stretched.
Newblay with a flicked on header. Bit of head tennis going on. Goes out of play. Yeovil get the throw in on the far side. Played 5 minutes of this second half. It's still Worthing 0. Yeovil 1. Matt Worthington on the score sheet for the Glovers after just 8 minutes. A tap in from close range after great work from Will Dawes and Rhys Murphy. Here's Worthington, the goal scorer, once more. Turns, goes back to Newblay. Combining with Worthington. Tries to get the cross away. Takes a little deflection, but it's found the feet of Newblay. Joseph Rye doing enough, making sure that they come into the box. It goes out for a corner kick.
That all stems from a fantastic pass from Michael Smith. So well executed to send through Matt Worthington in that right channel, and nice bit of a wriggle to get himself through, and unfortunately Frank Newblay couldn't get a touch to get the ball back across to Rhys Murphy, who would have had a great chance.
Jordan Young on set piece duty on the far side. Young with a hand in the air. Comes in centrally, headed towards goal by Wunnell, but goes wide of the post. It's a goal kick to Worthing. Decent delivery, just didn't quite have the accuracy on the header, but yeah, Wunnell is getting on the end of them.
He does, yeah. He's one that's never afraid to attack anything. He just couldn't quite get the purchase on that one to really flick it. He got underneath it a little bit more, and it's looped up, but didn't really cause any threat to that Worthing defence.
Poor kick from Rhys. And Dawes trying to take full advantage. Slips though at the crucial moment, gives it away. Now they could come and hit Yeovil on the counter-attack. Here's Cashman. He's picked out his teammate on the edge of his own box. It's towards Pearce. And it's really well seen out by Jake Wunnell. Man for man defending, did just about enough. And actually, I think Worthing probably should have shot from the central position. They decided to go out wide, but that gave Jake Wunnell the chance to get in a good position and see that go out for a goal kick.
As soon as Joan Luke picks it up on that left-hand side, you're thinking, right, and now another shot, because bodies are flying back for Yeovil Town, and he didn't. He tried to make that extra pass to really try and slice Yeovil open, but Wunnell had the opportunity to recover there, and he excellently.
Day. Flicked on header from Newblay. Murphy. But that falls all the way to Rhys in goal. Colburn on the edge of his own box. Murphy just teasing. Does retain red possession though. Chested down by Robinson, and one back in midfield by Worthington. Back to Wunnell, goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Day. Dawes can't get there, but Hours heads it towards Worthington. Good feet from the goal scorer. Nice patient play from Yeovil, but they're now under a bit of pressure from Cashman. Day. He had an on-rushing Ollie Pearce, so understandably does go out of play for a throw, in which they take very quickly indeed. They get the throw in though at the second attempt, Yeovil. There's a little bit of comedy of errors of both sides there.
Yeah, no one could really get a good grasp on the ball, to be honest with you. Just switching between both sides of every touch. It was, like I said, a comedy of errors.
Murphy under pressure once more, but it goes back to the goalkeeper.
They have a real eagerness to press this Worthing back nine in the opening stages here. Every time they get the ball, Yeovil really want to get on them and force them into moving the ball around. 55
minutes played here. It's Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. National League South action. We're on BBC Radio Somerset, BBC Sounds with me, Sheridan Robbins, and former Yeovil Town press officer Sam Collard. So far, Yeovil a goal to the good. Not really had any chances in this second half. Clearance finds Dave, had to chest it down as he was out of his area, but does claim it at the second attempt, and now they're passing it out from the back. Here's Michael Smith. Newblay on the halfway line, good feet from the Yeovil Town striker, and now Hours finds Young, who turns. That's going to fall nicely to Worthington, who's beaten his man. Worthington on the far right-hand side. Can he get a cross in towards Young? Can, but it falls nicely to Sorondo, who clears.
It was a really poor delivery from Matt Worthington. He was unmarked. He had time to get the ball into the box, but if anything, it was tame, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the momentum just kind of halted, didn't it? But here's the momentum with Worthing. 1-0 up against Pearce. Pearce with the cross. It's superbly held by Joe Day. The on-rushing Jake Robinson goes down under the pressure from Day, but he was strong. Very commanding goalkeeping.
He made that look easy, didn't he? When it certainly is, and that was a really well-struck cross. And
Weston-super-Mare 0 in the National League South. Maidstone 0, Farnborough 1. Maidstone, of course, also having a decent start to the season, but they're trailing by a goal to 0. We'll take this one. Played 10 minutes of this second half. Still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Not much goal mouth action to tell you about. Flicked on header from Dawes. Trying to find Murphy, and Worthington with some great feet. He shoots! It's great save from Rocco Rees to his left-hand side. Danger not evaded though, as Dawes cuts inside. He's gone on his own. He goes well defended by Robinson. And Worthington has had a hatful of chances in this game. 3 good chances. 1 he scored. That was a good strike from Matt Worthington.
yeah, and an even better save of all, honestly. Worthington had all of the goals to aim at and looked like he'd struck it nicely into the corner, but a great save. Didn't really have much on at that point. The box had become flooded, so tried to wiggle his way through, but well defended from Worthington at the second attempt.
That might have just sparked Yeovil into a little bit of action. Wheeler puts that out for a throw-in on this near side. .58 minutes gone. Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Dawes picks it up by the corner flag. Robinson doing some defending. Cashman picks it up. He's got Hours and Whittle for company. Whittle's penalised. Free kick goes Worthing's way. And Whittle frustrated at that decision, but he's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card.
I was about to say he needs to be careful. He's been nibbling away at those wingers, and they are distinctly tricky wingers for Worthing. So Mark Cooper would probably normally think that he'd make a change here, but he hasn't actually got a left-back change to make.
Was that Dawes that just went in the book as well?
I believe it was Worthington.
Was it Worthington? Well, that's 4 then for Worthington this season. So here come Worthing. Robinson goes down. It's a challenge from Whittle. Does need to be very careful indeed. I mean, there wasn't any malice in that challenge. It was just poor. They take the free kick quickly, and Robinson turns. Got Whittle in front of him. Inside the box. Cross comes in. Cleared by Newblay. Kicks it out of play. Only as far as Aguiar. Headed away once more by Wannell. Knocking on the door now.
If I was Mark Cooper, I'd be half tempted to make that switch anyway. Maybe move Josh Owers there. Walking on a tightrope now. I don't think he can afford a single more foul, to be honest with you.
Colburn out wide. Cross comes in. Well claimed by Joe Day. Rolls it out to Frank Newblay. That's superb from Joe Day, but Frank Newblay needs some support. Does well to find Smith in some space. It's actually going to have to go all the way back to... No, it's not, because that's superb from Michael Smith. Well controlled. Now Jordan Young on the centre circle, finding Whittle out to his left.
He just oozes composure, Michael Smith, doesn't he? That was... You thought all the world he was going to have to play that back there, but a nice drop of the shoulder, and he sent the on-rushing winger the other way.
I have to say, I think any other player would have gone back, but...
Such is the quality and experience of Smith.
Absolutely, what a signing. Worthington back to Young. Now Whittle approaching the hour mark. It's still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Young picks out Newblay on the right-hand side. Good touch from Newblay. He's driving forward. He's going to shoot. It's just wide. Smacks the bar. Had the accuracy. Had the power, but not quite the accuracy, I should say. And it is still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1.
Found himself in so much space there, Newblay. I thought when Jordan Young went for that, it was a little bit behind him, but it didn't really matter, to be honest with you. Newblay had room to drive and take a shot, and not too far away at all.
Half an hour to go here. Yeovil leading by a goal to 0. Headed forward by Williams. Good defensive header from Morgan Williams. Whittle goes back to his goalkeeper. Robinson's going to be on rushing. Joe Day takes a touch. Great goalkeeping once more. Trying to find Murphy. Falls nicely to Whittle. Still in their own half though. Nice play from Worthington, setting Whittle on his way. Whittle beats his man, finds Young in some space in a central position. He picks out Newblay. It's well intercepted, but that's fallen nicely to Murphy inside the box. He's got 3 men on him. Can he go out wide to Newblay? He's kept the ball at his feet brilliantly as Rhys Murphy. Now Whittle, and Young's going to shoot! Just wide. Some superb footwork from Rhys Murphy. 3 men on him.
Not sure how he kept hold of that. That was brilliant footwork from Rhys Murphy, and then found Alex Whittle in the centre of the box. He must have a nosebleed. He was so far forward, and dropping it back there to Jordan Young, which is probably the opposite way you'd expect those two. Opposite way you'd expect those two, but probably a poor strike for Jordan Young's standards.
Yeah, well, won the ball back, but the referee has pulled it back for a free kick to Worthing. Cashman stayed down. They pass it out. Dawes trying to challenge him, but Wheeler on this right-hand side. You can tell Rhys Murphy's body language. He feels
certainly up for it.
Something in this game for him. He's had some chances. Poor ball from Worthing. Trickles all the way to Joe Day. I'm just looking at the bench. You can see Jordan Stevens warming up in front of the dugout. Wonder if we will see him imminently. Has fallen to probably Matt Worthington, and here he is on the ball again. A awkward touch, who chests it down. Jordan Young, he's penalised for handball.
I think that's a bit harsh.
I don't know what he could have done to change where the ball fell on his arm.
Yeah, and his arms were by his side.
Yeah.
It was hardly intentional, wasn't it? And the ball's ricocheted from about 2 yards in front of him. What's he supposed to do in that situation?
Didn't raise his arms at all, did he?
No, I'm not too. I think that's a little harsh there.
Yeah, I agree. Throw in though to Worthing on this near side. 63 minutes gone. Yeovil lead by a goal to 0. Joel Colburn will take it. Torquay United 3, Welling 1. Sean Donnellan, former Glover, on the score sheet for Gary Johnson's side. Could be an important win for Torquay. Touch, Pearce. Back to the edge is Williams, who clears.
Yeah, Whittle found himself isolated with him there and dealt with that really well. Got an important foot in, didn't touch the man at all, and for a man that's on a yellow card, that can be a heart-and-mouth moment, but he dealt with it excellently.
Yeah, and he certainly can't go in at all. Worthing enjoying a lot of possession in this second half, but Yeovil have probably had the better of the chances. Newblay, Worthington, Murphy going close.
Looks like Jordan Stevens is going through his set pieces with the Yeovil bench, so I can't think it'll be too long before we see him.
No, absolutely. What a boost that is for Mark Cooper's side. Here they come, though, on the far side to Worthing. Good interception from Newblay. And good challenge from Morgan Williams on the halfway line as Dawes. That's a good ball towards Morgan Williams. Morgan Williams goes down, trying to keep a hold of the ball. There's 2 men on him. as Jordan Young does superbly to win it back. The referee just lets play go on. He's on the edge of the box now, Jordan Young. Murphy's in the middle. Cross comes in, he goes for goal, goes over the bar. And he gets a round of applause from Rhys Murphy. I would have thought perhaps the reaction might have been slightly different from Murphy.
Yeah, unless that applause was slightly sarcastic.
Possibly.
I thought I would imagine him being a little frustrated there. That was a waste of an opportunity.
Sensed the opening, did all the hard work, Jordan Young. Didn't quite get the shot away that he'd wanted. Throw into Worthing on the far side. Can Yeovil win it back and mount an attack?
Looks like Rhys Murphy's day coming to an end. Number 39, I think I've just seen penned in on the Yeovil Town subs board.
Wow, it'll be interesting to see then how that changes things. Free kick to Worthing, taken quickly. They're taking their set pieces very quickly. Worthing, 66 minutes gone. Still Yeovil leading by a goal to nil here at Worthing. Challenge from Rhys Murphy. Can't get a hold of it though. Here's Ollie Pearce. Out wide to Joe Rye. Defensive work by Whittle on the far side. I think that has gone out for a throw-in. Can't see though. So I think we are going to see that change. And I think we're going to see a change for Worthing as well at the same time. In fact, we're going to see that Worthing change first. And it's Jake Robinson going off for Worthing.
It's not much to do today, is he, Jake Robinson?
Coming on, number 20.
On the loanee from Brighton.
And Mark Cooper still in conversation with Jordan Stevens. We might not see that one just yet, but change feels imminent.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, well, got some defending to do though on this near side. Throw in. Flicked on header by Dawes. Hours. And then 1-0 on the edge of his box. A bit of head tennis going on. Can't get a hold of it. Here's Wheeler though on the ball on the right hand side. Cross comes in, cleared by Wannell. Kept alive by Worthing. That's going to go out of play though, as Whittle just watches that go out and he's shoved to the floor by the substitute. That's his first action. Bailey Smith, let him know you're there, as they say.
Yeah, that's a way to announce your arrival, isn't it?
Certainly is. And we are going to see Jordan Stevens now, and Rhys Murphy's afternoon is over. Certainly been a handful, as he always is, and could have had a penalty.
Absolutely, and I think this is more of a case of minute management, if anything, to be honest with you. We know Rhys Murphy, when he breaks down, he tends to be out for a little bit of time, so managing those minutes is vital.
I imagine he'll want to be in the starting 11 for a certain visit of Weymouth on Tuesday night. Last time he played against them, he had a good time of it.
Certainly in green and white.
Yeah, certainly in green and white, yeah, absolutely. Maybe not for Southend. Scored a hat-trick for Yeovil. Behind closed doors, so Jordan Stevens, introduced by Mark Cooper. Torquay United well on their way to 3 points now. They're 4-1 to the good. Jarvis. Challenge on Morgan Williams. Yellow card is out. I think that was Bailey Smith again, was it?
Yeah, from the reaction there, I think some of the
Yeovil fans not happy with that one. It is a yellow card. He's only been on the pitch a minute, and he's already in the book.
Let them know you're there early.
Absolutely. It's a free kick to Yeovil Town on the far side, on the byline, which is where Joe Day will take it. That 4-1 result currently, as it stands, puts Torquay back in 5th place in the National League South. Newblade trying to get a hold of that, but it finds a red shirt, and here they come once more. Cashman, challenge from Young. Now here comes Ollie Pearce, he's played it through, and Jake Wannell is the man there to pick it up, because the way they were breaking there looked really dangerous for Yeovil Town. Good defending from the Glovers, and here comes Dawes.
Dawes under pressure and Worthington bursting through. Good control from Worthington. He's got Stevens just in front of him. Can't find a green shirt though. And on the edge of their own boxes, Worthing once more, and the sharp intake of breath from you, Sam, told everything we needed to know about that attack from Worthing.
Yeah, it says everything when this game gets so stretched. It's always those last-ditch challenges that make the difference, and Yeovil have had them at every single instance this time, and say when there's been a mistake, one will have swept up for Williams, and it's been vice versa throughout this day, and say as Williams overexerted himself a little bit there, one was there to clean up.
Braintree 2, Weston-super-Mare 0. 20 minutes to go here. It's still Yeovil leading by a goal to 0.
Substitution for Worthing coming off number 14, Ode Sorondo.
Ode Sorondo coming off for Worthing.
And joining the game, number 27, Liam Vincent.
Liam Vincent for a second spell on loan from Portsmouth is replacing him.
Quite a difference in stature between the two of them. I think you've got about half a foot in heights difference.
Absolutely. Goodness me. Going to be a handful, as they say. We're going to make another substitution. No, they are finally doing it. That's fine. Okay, so we are going to get back underway. The referee was just waiting for that substitution to come on. Yeah, he's huge, isn't he? Goodness me. No, it is another sub. I thought it was. Jordan Adeyemi comes on. And Nicky Wheeler goes off. Josh Staunton just telling me that. So appreciate that from the skipper. Here comes Will Dawes. Cuts inside on the edge of the D. Goes inside the box. Challenged. Young shoots. Does that take a deflection? Jordan Young thinks so. Referee says no. Goes out for a goal kick.
I think Will Dawes did quite well there to wriggle his way through. Straight over the bar.
So, still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. That 8th minute goal from Worthington is the difference. Here's Adeyemi getting his first touch, and Williams and Wannell combining once more. Here comes Jake Wannell to clear. Dawes back to Whittle. Whittle to Wannell. Heavy touch from him, but can he get a hold of it at the second attempt? He can't, but it's fallen to Williams, who's on the halfway line. Finds Smith behind him. Under pressure from Cashman and Adeyemi. Headed out of play though by Worthing, but sloppy from their perspective.
Today's attendance is 1,874.
Throw into Yeovil. 1,874 here. I wonder how many. Green and white contingent here on the south coast.
You'd expect at least 300, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Jordan Young turns brilliantly. Worthington out wide to Jordan Stevens, the substitute. Cuts inside to Stevens. He's got the pace, goes towards Nublé. Can't get a hold of it on the edge of the box, but Smith wraps up the pieces, and then Hours. It's a heavy touch from him though, and Cashman wins it back. The referee was going to play advantage, but there wasn't really an advantage picked up by a green shirt, so it's taken back for a free kick to Worthing.
Yeah, a few too many nibbles there, Josh Owers, and that final one, the referee was like, yeah, we'll pull that one back.
Still just the goal difference at the moment. Weymouth 2, Eastbourne Borough 1. Eastbourne getting on back for their side. Here they come on the far side. Stevens does enough. Gets the throw in for his side. Michael Smith will take this one in front of that travelling Yeovil contingent. .74 minutes gone. Still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Another throw into Yeovil. making some progress on that far side. Just slowing the game down, understandably.
Yeah, the game was very open for sort of the 10 minutes before, with sort of both teams really going for the jugular, as it were. But I think Yeovil's game management in this situation, and especially the substitutes, have sort of taken the sting out of the game a little bit.
1-0 towards Dawes. Finds the chest of Worthington. Can't pick it up with their own feet, though, on the edge of their own boxes. Colburn struggling to get the ball back, but Stevens does brilliantly. He's got Newblay to his right-hand side, and the challenge comes in. Just couldn't get a hold of it, Newblay. Stevens wins it back once more. Inside the box, Newblay. Back to Young! Just over from Jordan Young. Jordan Stevens making an impact, and just a couple of those players not being able to get the ball under their feet.
That was a massive chance for Yeovil Town, and wasn't quite on the same wavelength. Stevens maybe coming in a little cold there, but it's a great turnover from Stevens to really drive forward and look for Newblay, and didn't quite get the weight on his pass that he needed to get the ball in front of him and have that strike and goal. So he had to then turn back, and then Stevens found again, and Young maybe not quite had his shooting boots on this afternoon.
Bailey Smith trying to get a hold of a loose ball forward as they hit Yeovil on the counter, but Whittle watches that one go out of play, and Stevens just gives such a burst of energy, doesn't he? He does have the pace that perhaps, if you're going to be critical of this Yeovil side, is missing.
Yeah, and say that is something he really adds to this side. He's really one who's willing to press in sort of a similar role as to what Matt Worthington. He likes to get forward as well and press the opponents, and when he adds Stevens' pace, that is very tricky for opposition defences to deal with.
Other goals flying in across the National League South. Chippenham 1, St Albans 2, Dover 1, Hemel 1, and Tonbridge Angels 2, Bath City 2. They've equalised against Bath City, who is currently sitting in second position in the National League South. Less than 15 minutes to go here. It's still Worthing 0, Yeovil 1. Michael Smith puts it out for play. A little bit frustrated at himself, I think, wanting to set Yeovil on their way. Lots of possession from the home side, particularly in this second half. They've won themselves a throw-in, though. Stevens thinks about taking it quickly, but it's going to be Michael Smith who gets the ball. He'll be handed it by Adam Hinshelwood in the Worthing dugout. A bit awkward from Newblay, but it does fall nicely to Smith once more. Plays it through to Stevens. That's a great ball. Is there anyone in the box? Worthington's there. It's cleared only as far as Stevens, who does brilliantly and shoots. And it's cleared off the edge of the 6-yard box by Colburn.
He's making his impact felt, isn't he, Jordan Stevens? A few good chances now since he's come on the pitch. He's really making an impact, looking to get in behind, and we think Yeovil are the side chasing the game at the moment, the amount of they're getting forward and getting chances.
Here come Worthing, though. It's an awkward ball towards Kane Wills, who can only head it out of play and just take the sting out of that counter-attack. Whittle to take the throw-in. Doesn't look like we're going to see any other substitutions imminently from Yeovil Town. Actually, it goes out for a Worthing throw-in. Blocked by these steps. But it is in Worthing possession.
I think what's to note there is around that throw, Newblay was screaming even, take your time, because he's been in this situation many a time. He knows that this is a valuable lead now, and we don't need to rush things, just need to see their way through the game. And as it stands, they've managed it really well.
12 minutes of normal time to go. Yeovil leading by a goal to 0. We're on BBC Radio Somerset and BBC Sounds with me, Sheridan Robbins, and former Yeovil Town press officer Sam Collard taking you through this one. It's a good ball towards Wheeler. Cross comes in. Adiemi trying to get on the end of it. Good interception from Morgan Williams, only as far as Colburn. Well dealt with by Newblay, but it's found the feet of Ollie Pearce. Shot from distance, just wide. Superb from the edge of the box. That'd have been some goal to equalise. Goes wide of the post, and it's a goal kick.
It does feel like it's going to take something special to break down Yeovil Town today, and that wasn't far off it. Just wide of Joe Day's post. I don't think if that was on target, he was going to get there. Very, very close from Worthing.
It was very good dipping shot, wasn't it? but it is still. Header from Dawes, sitting on Newblay, but he can't get ahead of his defender. Wheeler on the right-hand side. Bailey Smith, the substitute, is down by Whittle. Whittle is on a yellow card. Challenge from Dawes, wins it back, but only as far as Aguiar.
Yeah,
Smith.
It's getting a little bit more tense now for Yeovil Town, as we feared it might if that second goal didn't come. And yeah, Worthing trying to put a little bit of pressure on.
Cashman on the edge of the box, well intercepted by Jordan Stevens, going back to the goalkeeper. Adeyemi giving him something to think about, but easily claimed. And it's Torquay United 5, Welling United 1. They were 1-0 down in that game. Here comes Jordan Young. Out wide to Worthington. Taken down is Young, but nothing given by our referee. Here's Jordan Stevens. He's all the way back to Joe Day. 10 minutes of normal time to go. Yeovil just have that solitary goal from the first half, tapped in by Worthington. Still playing it out though, our Yeovil. Here's Whittle, driving forward on this left-hand side, this near side to us. Dawes. Does it take a little nick? It does. They're making some progress on this left-hand side.
Michael Smith moving a little gingerly there at right back. I think there was an incident off the ball that Mark Cooper wasn't too happy about, but we didn't quite see it ourselves. But walking with a little bit of a limp at the moment, but I'm sure he'll be all right. I think that's wishful thinking.
Here he is on the ball. And Stevens on the halfway line, who's mustered off the ball. We don't say that very often. Here's Liam Vincent. Cross comes in, claimed by Day, spills it! And at the second attempt, Adeyemi can't get a hold of it, takes a deflection, goes out for a corner kick. And the first time, perhaps, we've not seen a clean claim from Joe Day.
Yeah, that was a bit of an awkward height for Joe Day to get down to and claim, and he's really not classed the ball there. It's bounced awkward. Very, very lucky to see that go wide.
Nicky Wheeler on corner kick duty. Comes towards the central position, which is headed away by Dawes. Only as far as Wheeler once more. Cross comes in and headed towards goal. Whistle goes. It's a penalty. I think it's Wannell who's been penalised, and he gets a yellow card. And with 8 minutes to go, Worthing have a chance to equalise from the spot.
Head in hands from Jake Wannell. He can't believe it. He's not quite incensed, but he's more in shock at that decision.
The physio is going to come on. Joel Colburn is the one who was fouled. And our referee made that decision very quickly indeed.
Certainly had a better view than we did.
Wow. Goodness me. We will have a bit of delay before this penalty is taken, because Colburn is receiving some treatment. And looks like a head injury he's receiving some treatment for, so hopefully he's fine to continue. He's now up on his feet.
It'll be interesting to see that one back, won't it? Because, like I say, it was just a melee of bodies in that box, so to get a clearer view as to what exactly went on there.
Well, now, late drama here.
So Joe Day's not had much to do, but this is certainly a big task now.
Well, let's see. Ollie Pearce for the equaliser up against Joe Day. Dawes is now receiving some treatment as the physio and doctor come on to the pitch. He had stayed down, Will Dawes. It's going to be a yellow card for Frank Newblay.
He might have been interfering with the penalty taker, and in the new rules this year, that's not allowed.
So Will Dawes still receiving some treatment. A big delay here for this penalty to be taken.
Real pressure penalty. As every second ticks by, it
absolutely,
it only increases.
Goodness me. Doors still receiving that treatment. Yeovil not keeping a lot of clean sheets this season. And they're going to have to save from the penalty spot if they're going to keep one this season. Ollie Pearce, who has more than 100 goals for this club, is looking to draw Worthing level. We've just got 6 minutes of normal time to play, but there's been quite a few minutes that will be added on at the end. Will Dawes is going to have to go off, and Zach Bell is replacing him, so he's not able to continue. And the Bristol City loanee, Zach Bell, coming on. And now we will finally have this penalty kick.
Coming off number 17, Will Dawes. Coming on, number 20, Zachary Bell.
So, finally, we will soon, hopefully, be taking this penalty. Mark Cooper still barking instructions at his side. But Joe Day is in front of those Worthing supporters. Can he be the hero for Yeovil Town? Ollie Pearce up against Joe Day, the Newport loanee, drafted in by Mark Cooper. Referee blows his whistle, right-footed and into the back of the net, and Worthing equalise from the spot. No mistake from the penalty spot. And Ollie Pearce gets his 4th goal of the season. And it's Worthing 1, Yeovil 1.
We have over 100 goals for a football club. You're always going to be confident when you're stepping up for a penalty, and despite the delay, when he was holding the ball in his hand, you could tell he had that air of confidence about him that he would be able to dispatch that penalty, and it was very well taken, and Yeovil are going to have work to do now.
Well, 4 minutes of normal time to play, and then, and imagine, quite a lot of added time following that stoppage, not only for the penalty, but for the 2 injuries that we saw there and the substitutions. The late show from Worthing. And they'll think they can go on and win this game now. Certainly dominated possession.
Yeah, but that's the real. They haven't had too many chances to test Joe Day, and Yeovil will be ruining those opportunities they missed earlier on in this second half, because they had 3 or 4 of them, and you'd really expect one of them to have been taken.
Long ball forward, trying to find Cashman. Falls nicely to Kane Wills. Again cleared by Wannell. Wannell the one penalised for the penalty. Liam Vincent out wide. The tails are up now for Worthing. Morgan Williams clears, but only as far as Vincent. And then great footwork from Michael Smith. Cleared by Williams, but goes out for a throw-in.
Does feel like awkward moments for Yeovil Town now. There's one side with the momentum, and it's not Yeovil. Worthing are really piling on the pressure after that penalty.
We certainly are. Yeovil had their chances in this second half. We'll, of course, get Mark Cooper's reaction to the penalty, to the chances that Yeovil have missed. And get any news. Michael Smith is torn to the ground. And it is a free kick to Yeovil Town, and Mark Cooper is absolutely incensed at that.
He's actually throwing the ball at the referee.
Absolutely furious is Mark Cooper. It's a free kick to Yeovil Town. 2 minutes of normal time to go. It is Worthing 1, Yeovil 1. Worthing equalising from the spot. Dover have taken the lead at home to Hemel Hempstead, sorry. And a word on Southend United. They are beating Solihull Moors by 5 goals to 0. Considering they had 3 substitutes against Yeovil Town. 2 of them 16-year-olds. All the turmoil. Unbelievable.
I think that makes Yeovil's win against Southend look all the better as well.
Absolutely. It just goes to show, I think, how good Yeovil are at Hewish Park, how important that home form is going to be.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I would imagine many Yeovil fans would have taken a point today. I know the manner it may come about in, it would be a bit of a sickener, but you took it that way and say if it does stay as it is, it's another game unbeaten against a really tough place to go. You've not lost on an artificial pitch, but there's still a little bit of time to go yet.
They certainly do. Still got defending to do. Well claimed by Joe Day. Burton Albion 3, Bristol Rovers 0. Looks like Joey Barton's side are going to be beaten on the road. Ticking over to 90 minutes. There's a heavy touch from Newblay, sets Adeyemi on his way. Wasn't great from Yeovil Town. Michael Smith gets an important touch in, concedes the throw in. 30 seconds of normal time to go. It's Worthing 1, Yeovil 1. See how much added time, although I didn't see it in the first half, so we might be playing the guessing game, but it's going to be quite a bit of added time, I would have thought.
Looking at the board there, it looks like it's going to be 9.
Goodness me. I didn't think it would be that much. Here are Worthing once more on the ball. Their tails are up since that late equaliser.
Referee is indicating a minimum of
9 minutes of added time. Strap yourselves in. This game is not over yet, and that is going to buoy those Worthing players on, that is for sure.
Yeovil haven't quite regrouped since that goal. It's been all Worthing knocking the ball around. Need to get the ball down and play it about a little bit to get a bit more confidence.
Headed away by Zach Bell, but only as far as Aguiar, having a lot of this possession once more. If Yeovil could have an opening, they will create chances, but we've not seen them do so over the last 10 or so minutes. It's Cashman on the far side. Zach Bell does well. Goes out for a corner kick to Worthing. Nervy minutes. We've played close to 1 of the 9 added on.
Yeah, and Yeovil didn't do too well in a position like this last time, gave away a penalty, so they need to switch on now and find a way of seeing this game through, whether that's just to a draw or find a way to turn the game on its head a little bit, because the momentum's all Worthing right now.
It certainly is. Nicky Wheeler with the corner kick, punched away by Joe Day. Only as far as the edge of the box, goes out of play. Throw in to Worthing. Momentum still with the home side, sorry. Wills, cross comes in. Michael Smith gets the free kick, brilliant. Gets a round of applause from his defensive partner, Morgan Williams. That experience is absolutely priceless.
Yeah, that's what 400 odd games in pro football gets you, isn't it? Just that little bit of know-how, just to when to buy a second or two and earn a free kick.
Joe Day, I imagine, will take his time over this. Beaten from the spot with 4 minutes to go. We have played 2 of the 9 added on. It's still Worthing 1, Yeovil 1. Late equaliser from Ollie Pearce from the Matt Worthington opening the scoring after just 8 minutes. Goes out for a goal kick to Worthing. Burton Albion 4, Bristol Rovers 1. A great result on the road for Joey Barton's side. Headed away by Wannell. Again though, does Wannell just sit down, gave away the penalty, but getting himself in a good position. Here's Whittle, launches it forward to Jordan Stevens. Keeper comes out, throw in an attacking position to Yeovil. They're at least making some inroads and being in that Worthing half, something they haven't really been. We're going to see another substitution from Mark Cooper's side.
Jordan Maguire-Drew
coming on. We've played 3 of the 9 added on. Throw in on this near side. Newblay on the edge of the box, chests it down. There's 2 red shirts near him. There's all the action by the corner flag that we just cannot see from our position here, but it's cleared. Chested down by Wannell. Finds Williams. He's under pressure. Picks out the ball for Smith. It looks like it might be a little overhit, and actually Vincent probably didn't need to put it out of play, but he does so, and then we are going to see that substitution. I think it is Michael Smith who is sacrificed.
Unless that's for an injury, that does feel very, very risky. That he's been probably the most assured in the Yeovil back line today, and to lose someone of sort of his ilk and at a stage of a game like this, it could lead to some nervy moments.
You're right though, he's not moving particularly well, is he, Michael Smith? Jordan Maguire-Drew enters the fold, throw in an attacking position. We have got Zach Bell on the pitch who's taking this one. He's got a long throw on him, the Bristol City loanee. Chance to get it into the box. Finds the head of Wannell. Rye clears though. They've left a few gaps as
Zach Bell picks it up. Goes out of play, concedes the throw-in. Throw into Worthing. 4.5 played of the 9. Still Worthing 1, Yeovil 1. Braintree 2, Western 0 is a full-time score.
Is Ollie Pearce.
Ollie Pearce gets the home man of the match after scoring that equaliser. It's Jordan Young. Good turn from him. Is it through to Jordan Stevens? He can't get there. It falls back to the red shirts. Good turn from Kane Wills. Challenge from Jordan Young, who does brilliantly. Again, Worthington trying to win it back. He's going to concede the throw. Yeah, it's going to be a free kick on the centre circle. They're going to take this quickly.
Yeah, that felt like a slightly mishit from Jordan Young, because Jordan Stevens was through there but just couldn't quite get a clean
Cross comes in, easily claimed by Joe Day. It wasn't a great one from Worthing. 5.5 of the 9 played. It is still Worthing 1, Yeovil 1. Nervy last added time. Yeovil concede the throw-in on the far side. As it stands, still at the top of the division by a single point, because Bath are still drawing. Taunton are trailing. Torquay up to fourth. They are winning by 5 goals to 1. It is a competitive division, if we didn't know that already. Here comes Jordan Young. Good ball from him to find Stevens, who can't get a hold of it, but Worthington can. Nice ball through to Stevens once more. Packing out the red shirts in front of him. Jordan Young's got a man behind him. He gives it away. Hours picks it up. Stevens out wide to Whittle. Can Whittle get a cross in? He can, towards Newblay, headed away by a red shirt. Stevens does well inside the box. He's got the ball. He shoots. Blocked. Only as far as Newblay on the edge of the box. And now Jordan Young shoots. Blocked once more. Only as far as Bell on the right-hand side. Towards the edge of the box. Jordan Maguire-Drew trying to get a cross in. It's a free kick.
Claimed handball, and he's got lucky with that one.
Goodness me, didn't he? I mean, he's been consistent on that.
Yes.
We have played nearly 7 of the 9 added on, and Yeovil have a free kick in a decent position on the right-hand side.
They really do, and it's a great opportunity. It needs to be the right ball now, once swung in, and Yeovil been good from set pieces today, and yeah, they'll be hoping they'll be good from one more.
Both Jordan Maguire-Drew and Jordan Young over this one. Real chance to get a whipped-in ball into the box. Less than 2 minutes to go here. It's Worthing 1, Yeovil 1. It's been left for Jordan Maguire-Drew. Hand in the air. Whips it towards Morgan Williams.
Yeah!
Oh, they've done it! Morgan Williams heads his second goal of the season with 1.5 added minutes to go. Heads home. It's Worthing 1, Yeovil Town 2. Have they snatched it late on again?
Well, we said Yeovil have been good from set pieces. They have saved their best until last. That was a fantastic delivery, and met even better by Morgan Williams. He's been a rock at the back today, and that was a fantastic header. Really well powered, and it comes from the delivery. All he had to do was glance it, because the power was on the ball. He met it brilliantly. 2-1 to Yeovil. Late heroics at the death.
98 minutes played here. It's Worthing 1, Yeovil 2, and Jordan Maguire-Drew with the assist. Morgan Williams heading home, and they've got 1 minute to see this one out. And what a result this could be for Yeovil Town.
What a moment.
What a moment. What a goal.
Yeah, and you look at the National League South title race. That could be a moment that decides it. A late winner away from home to your title rivals. Absolutely huge.
An absolute credit to Worthing, who have been very, very good in this game. You can see why they are where they are, and I think Zach Bell's going to get a yellow card for time wasting. I don't think he'll mind.
No, and say credit to Worthing. Like you say, I think they've been the best team I've seen against Yeovil this season. They've knocked the ball around well, and they will not be far away from that top end of the table.
We have played the 9 minutes, but of course we had a bit of a celebration for the goal. Here comes Jordan Young, picks it up, clears it forward. Free kick to Yeovil Town. And you can sense the Yeovil Town supporters
know that 3 points is near. The late show for the Glovers. Jordan Young getting a pat on the back from Jordan Maguire-Drew, winning that free kick.
It was a soft one. I mean, you look back, it was a soft one, but it goes the other way as well. Yeovil probably should have had a penalty in that first half, so you could say justice done.
And a sign of a good team is never giving up until the final minutes, and they certainly didn't do that. They've taken their chances when they've come.